Welcome, Devil Hunters, to Chainsaw Man 102, and it is true, the star of Chainsaw Man is back. Our boy Denji laying the smackdown on the Cockroach Devil, who looked like the summon skull from Yu-Gi-Oh!, but that's neither here or there right now, because as predicted, Denji did save Asa and Yuko from the Bat Devil, but not in the way that we expected here. After the hiatus from last week, Fujimoto graced us this week with a massive 52-page chapter, so before we get to the many revelations about Asa's character, let's talk about the debut of Chainsaw Man in this chapter. He arrives in literal seconds of Asa being eaten by the Bat Devil by beating the crap out of the Cockroach Devil, and the impact of Denji punching the Cockroach Devil was so intense, it destroyed the building the Bat Devil was chasing Asa in, crushing it in the process. Now, if there's anything I'm upset about with the Bat Devil going out like this, is the fact that I was really gearing up what exchange of dialogue Denji could have had confronting the Bat Devil for a second time. Whether it be something comedic or, more interestingly enough, just a conversation of being reincarnated as a new reborn devil so Denji could get clues and hints about the whereabouts of power as a new reborn again blood devil / blood fiend. In any case, the destruction killed the Bat Devil, and the paneling conveyed here looks absolutely extraordinary as we get a better look of the Cockroach Devil. Denji is seen ripping its guts from the inside of its stomach. The roach then grabs onto Denji and throws him across the building of the city block and rushes in immediately for a follow-up attack. But unfortunately for the Cockroach Devil, Denji slices off another arm. And this is where we get some interesting bit of dialogue from the Cockroach Devil asking Denji, if you're a devil, why do you side with the humans? This really could be an interesting moral dilemma pertaining to both Denji and Asa, which I'll get to later on. But the Cockroach Devil then picks up a car with 5 old geezers in it and a young kid with a bright future ahead of him, and he asks Denji if he wants to be a superhero so bad, which option will Denji go for and save? And if any of you seen the Sam Raimi Spider-Man films, this is the scene where the Green Goblin grabs Mary Jane and a bus full of civilians. I think it was a bus, not really relevant. And he tells Spider-Man, okay, superhero, which one are you gonna pick? He saved his love interest and he saved the bus full of people. However, in the story of Chainsaw Man, Denji doesn't save neither of them, and what he instead chooses is to kill the Cockroach Devil right then and there, slicing off another hand and then using his chainsaws with his feet to slice off the Cockroach Devil's head off in this stylistic fighting game finish. As a result, both innocent lives are lost, with Denji saving and revealing option 3, which was to save a kitten with the television broadcast of everyone celebrating Chainsaw Man's act of heroism to the world once more. Which, if you guys can recall back in Chainsaw Man Part 1, Makima said, the more a devil's feared, the stronger they become. So we had that power struggle of Chainsaw Man being feared and powerful because he was devouring devils in hell, versus the people celebrating and cheering for him because he's a hero. If Chainsaw Man's a hero in Part 2, I know Denji as a fighter probably has accumulated and gained all this wisdom of being a better fighter overall, but how much stronger is he now that people are constantly cheering him on? Just something to think about. However, that panel holding on to the kitten was so infectious and so wholesome to look at, but Denji saving that kitten was similar to the act of heroism that Asa also accomplished in the shocking backstory we discovered in this chapter about her. And is she truly related to Kobeni with what was also discovered in this chapter? Well, in a flashback, it's revealed that Asa lost her mother in the incident of the Typhoon Devil teaming up with Reze in their battle against Chainsaw Man and Beam. Sharknado, baby! Asa, while escaping with her mother, runs into an injured kitten. Stopped for a second to save its life, but in that moment, Asa was saving the cat. She tripped. Her mother goes back to save her daughter, but because of that, her mother got wrecked in a car that the Typhoon Devil lifted and killed her on the spot. Now, we don't know how her father died. We might learn that later on as the story continues. However, because Asa did a selfless act to save the kitten, it came at the expense of her mother's life. What does that decision say about both Asa's and Denji's character as a whole? They are kind-hearted people. They are selfless, even if it comes at a cost indirectly. Sure, Denji just cared more about the cat than the people he could have saved, but obviously valued the cat's life in the way Asa valued the kitten she saved in that moment over her own life. Asa and Denji's hearts are in the right right place. In any case, Fujimoto is really setting up some interesting parallels amongst both characters, and you know their first character interactions and the many after are going to be some of the best written stuff we'll get with Chainsaw Man. So now, when we go back to Asa and Yuko running away from the Bat Devil, as the War Devil tells Asa, look, Yuko is injured, she's going to die, so might as well put her life to use and acquire some extra strength to take down this enemy in front of us. Although tempted, Asa does the right thing and saves her friend. However, Yoru might even know a darker side to Asa that we haven't seen fully fleshed out yet, because she tells Asa, you and I are the same, and I know you don't feel sorry for killing Bucky, you were sorry for being seen killing Bucky. Two different things. In addition, the temptation to kill Yuko while she was injured was there, and although I still feel confident that Yuko will die, did anyone else think Yuko was going to die in this moment? Even Yoro says, Asa, on the night you died, didn't you make up your mind to live a more selfish life? Again, another comparison I want people to keep in mind, because Denji ultimately decided to live a more selfish life at the end of Chainsaw Man Part 1. Now, we know what Yoro ended up doing, but all this temptation talk that Yoro is having with Asa, also keep in mind, it could just be the War Devil manipulating her to think like that, or to think that they both have the same mind and the same thoughts and feelings, because, well, they literally share the same body and mind. Now, let's talk about Kobeni for a second, because I feel like many people are going to hop on this theory that Kobeni and Asa are indeed related to each other, because Asa, much like Kobeni, trips and falls during critical moments of their lives, and it's also revealed from Kobeni herself in Part 1 that she does indeed have an older sister. But if you guys can remember the Control Devil arc where Kishibe tells Kobeni in the underground bunker that he kept Denji and her safe in, you can never meet your parents again, because if you do, Makima's gonna come and hunt them down and hunt you down, etc. And then we see Kobeni actually cry, and then ironically enough, she's crying because she's like, oh, good riddance. I'm going to use the scapegoat of Makima hunting me down to never interact with them again. So how can Kobeni be related to Asa if we know Asa's mother died during the incident of the Typhoon Devil / Bomb Girl arc, and the Control Devil arc happened with Denji months after that? So Kobeni's parents are still around somewhere. She can't be related to Asa unless, of course, one, Fujimoto retcons Kobeni's parents actually dying during the Typhoon incident to make her related to Asa, or two, Kobeni is indeed related to Asa, but they're not sisters, or maybe something more like cousins. So you heard it here first, Kobeni and Asa, although they trip and have a similar trait to being awkward and tripping at the most critical moments, are not sisters, but could still somehow be related. We'll just have to wait and see. Now, with Asa and Yuko being saved indirectly from Chainsaw Man, will they interact in the next chapter, or was Fujimoto simply quenching our Chainsaw Man / Denji thirst and is secretly saving their actual encounter for another time? I can totally see it going that direction, with chapter 103 starting off with Yuko and Asa back in class the following day, unaware of the incident going on with the cockroach battle, but because of that battle, eventually learning it was Chainsaw Man that saved their lives, and meeting Denji will actually happen later on, or funnily enough, Denji interacts with the both of them at school, during the Devil Hunter Club, or somewhere else. And by the way, we got a new Chainsaw Man trailer last week, and I fully dissected that trailer, so if you want to see that, you're going to want to click on this video right here.